The first court hearing in Trump's Georgia case this week, the Fulton County District Attorney's Office has said it's planned a 4-month-long trial with more than 150 witnesses, while defense attorneys for two of the defendants, pro-Trump lawyers Kenneth Chesborough and Sidney Powell, argued that their cases should be severed from the other defendants. Walk us through a bit of the legalities of this. How does this, though, wind up playing as Donald Trump mounts the campaign for the nomination, which he seems to have in the bag, but then really, again, the more important thing, convincing the American people that he's worthy of a return to the White House?
Yeah, well, the big thing here is, of course, if the prosecution is right, this is going to take 4 months. What that means is Donald Trump is going to effectively be off the campaign trail for 4 months, which is what a lot of Republicans. Listen, I'm a critic of the president sometimes. I'm a supporter of the president sometimes. That's my job as the chief of staff. But I got to tell you, this looks more and more political. Keep in mind, there's another case going forward that's going to start on the day before Super Tuesday, which is a big primary date. If you were trying to make the case that the Democrats are politicizing this process, there's plenty of evidence to that end, and one of them is the fact they think this is going to take 4 months. So look, the president has done the former president has done a pretty good job of convincing people there's political motivation here, and he's probably not wrong. Might he have done something wrong? I think that's possible, but is this politically motivated? I think there's a growing body of evidence that it absolutely is.
Absolutely right. Now, finally, I want to ask you about Vice President Kamala Harris, who has insisted that she's ready to take over from the president if anything, God forbid, happened to the president and he fell ill and couldn't carry on running the country. Have a little listen to this.
You feel prepared for that possibility, and serving as vice president prepared you for that job?
Yes, but Joe Biden's going to be fine, so that is not going to come to fruition.
Now, Mick, I've got to ask you this here. This is what we've been saying on this show for a long time. I've been saying that I think Joe Biden's going to get swapped out. Is this Kamala making her case? No. Keep Joe on the ticket here for November so that sometime in the next term I get the big job.
Yeah, look, I think what even the Democrats know is she's not up to the job. There is a growing discussion here, especially amongst Democrats, James, that Biden might not be up to the task, that he might lose to Trump. And of course, that's his primary job, is beating Trump. And if the Democrats start to think he might lose to Trump because he's perceived as being too old and incapable, they will look to replace him. I haven't heard a single Democrat say, let's replace him with Kamala Harris. They're talking about Gavin Newsom. They'll talk about various senators. They'll talk about the governor of Colorado. But Kamala Harris's name never really comes up in that conversation. So that says even more about how the Democrats feel about her than how the Republicans feel about her. So, no, I think it's 50-50 at this point that Biden is actually the Democrat nominee because he is being perceived more and more as being beatable by Donald Trump, and that is unforgivable in the Democrat camps. But I just don't hear anybody saying, and you know what, we need Kamala Harris on that ticket instead of Joe Biden. That conversation is not taking place in Washington, D.C., and it's not taking place in the broader country either.
Mick Mulvaney, I think that line there, it's 50-50 now. I think that is the top news line of this interview. Thank you so much for your insights tonight, Mick. Really appreciate it.